Well, hey, everybody, welcome to Good Talk. I am Jack, and I'm here with my guest, Abby Sudano. And Abby, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. We're just so excited that you could be with us, do this first episode of our little podcast here. And I've got to say that I know your family is proud of you, of course. And but for me, as a pastor, it's really wonderful for me to get to see a former confirmation student grow and embark on their career. So, Abby, tell us, what are you up to nowadays?
Okay, so lately I've been extremely busy. Ask my mom. I see her like once a week. I am in my last semester of nursing school. We graduate May 7th. Who's counting? Me. And I work at Select Specialty Hospital, which is a long-term acute care hospital. I work there. My job title is a student nurse tech. So it's kind of like a step between an aide and a nurse. I can do some extra stuff and get more hands-on experience, but we have critical care patients from all ends of the spectrum. And right now we have a lot of COVID recovery patients at work. So people who had COVID got dependent on oxygen or other organ systems failed. And then we kind of rehabilitate them, and they either leave our facility and go to rehab or they go home. And I'm busy with school as well, getting ready to do my preceptorship and finish up this last semester, and trying to live life and watch Criminal Minds when I can.
Oh, it's good. You have an outlet. That's good.
Do a little bit, not much.
How do you have the free time to watch TV? Oh, geez.
I don't
Well,
know.
well, how did you decide to become a nurse? What was your motivation?
I've always wanted to go into nursing ever since I was a little kid. I've just had this helping people kind of mentality. I mean, I started off volunteering in the church, like working the food pantry when I was literally 7. And I don't know, I always loved that. And when my grandma was sick when I was 12, that was kind of the thing that really made me want to do it. She had both great care and not great care. And I was young, but it kind of made me really like the idea of healthcare and helping people. And so ever since then, that's kind of what I stuck with. And I've played around between what fields I want to go into. And still to this day, I'm 100% set, but I can't let go of my other ideas for what I want to do in healthcare. But yeah, I've always wanted to just help people and make a difference. And I love medicine and science and stuff as well.
Oh, that's great. You had this real life experience that
Mhm.
spoke to you
Yeah,
and has
absolutely.
given you that direction.
Mhm.
Well, I'm curious about school a little bit. How often in school have you had that class that had you questioning, what am I doing?
There's been a few. I luckily haven't had a whole lot of struggle with school. Yes, it's difficult, and I study and study and study. And there's been some tests where I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? But more, I feel like it's actually in the healthcare setting, like in the hospital, either with clinicals in school or with work, that I'm questioning, oh my gosh, did I make the right decision? Do I want to do this forever? Just stuff that you see that you don't want to see, that makes it more difficult, but I still love what I do and I don't regret it, my decision at all.
It's good to not have regret.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
definitely.
well, you touched on something that I'd like to bring up. So, yes, it's stating the obvious. These last 2 years
Mhm.
have been a challenge that none of us could have ever anticipated experiencing, and really, how could anybody actually prepare for it?
We
So,
have to get ourselves
without compromising any HIPAA rules, what have been some of the challenges in your field, um, and how have you been able to meet those challenges?
Um, so I think definitely the most challenging part, well, I guess I go two ways. With school, the most challenging part has been the lack of experience that we've had, because for a while we were doing all online school. We weren't able to learn in person. The schedules were difficult. A lot of nursing students feel more unprepared, I guess, especially those who don't actually work in the hospital, because of the shutdown and everything. So we got less, I guess, hands-on experience than in years prior for nursing students.
Mhm.
And then actually working in the hospital, um, just the losses, I guess. It's hard. It hits hard sometimes. And we try and make the best of it. And I am a very caring and like talkative and honest person. So when it comes to talking to families of patients or talking to my patients in general, I'm always asking how they are, how their days are, what they do for a living, and try and make them feel as human as possible. Because sometimes being in the hospital for a long time, it's just demoralizing to say the least. So I try and do everything I can to just kind of make them feel better. Um, Even the patients who are comatose and don't know what's going on, I still try and do as much as I can for them, go above and beyond and braid their hair, whatever it is, to just
Mhm.
try and help a little bit more. But it's difficult to see the not so happy cases.
That brings up a question when you're talking about level of experience.
Hmm.
What's it been like to get to work side by side with someone else that's been in the field for whatever number of years that they've been here? What's been your experience with some of the folks? I mean, anybody really take you under their wing, so to speak, and
Yeah.
understand?
So
Yeah.
at work, specifically, I love all my coworkers. We have a really great floor. A lot of the nurses, because they know I'm a student, they'll be like, Abby, come here. Like, do you want to see this? Do you want to come do this with me? And which has been nice. There's been doctors even who've been like, hey, come here, watch. We're gonna do a bronchoscopy in here. Like, do you want to come see it? And everybody's been really nice. I can't say one specific person, but just overall, all my coworkers and the nurses on the units for the most part with clinicals have been really nice about letting us learn and letting us do stuff and kind of trying to teach us everything we can, especially in this time where it's all kind of new and crazy. A respiratory therapist on the floor always like to teach me all the vent stuff, which is nice too. So I guess we've learned a lot, but it just depends on who you have to work with.
But
Yeah.
I just can't imagine all the things that there are to learn uh, in in your field, which is why there's specialists in your field.
Mhm.
Uh, so, a future focus for you. What do you see yourself doing?
Okay, so after doing this for 2 years on my floor, I've kind of decided I don't want to do bedside nursing forever. I really want to go back to school to be a nurse midwife. Last semester, I fell in love with OB, which I didn't expect to. I always loved peds. I love kids. I did Sunday school my whole life. I've always loved that. And when we did our OB rotation last semester, I really liked it. I liked the one-on-one. I liked helping one patient through like the happiest day of their life. And I mean, it's so difficult for somebody to give
Mhm.
birth and then care for the newborn and everything like that. I loved it. And once I go back to school, I'll be able to have my own patients, deliver babies myself, do all kinds of prenatal and postnatal care. I've been really grateful for my experience working in this pandemic because it's something I'll always look back on and remember
Mhm.
what I did. I started my job in December of 2019, fresh face. I've never done healthcare before. And 3 months later, it was full COVID unit, full pandemic. I was doing everything I possibly could to help everybody. I was learning so much. And I'll always be grateful for that. But it's time I move my other direction and go into the specialty that I really care about.
But that's wonderful. You have a passion about this. I think it's really cool that you want to be there when somebody is starting life. So that's pretty cool. I love it. Abby, you are one of our healthcare angels, and we thank you for answering your call to be in the healthcare field. And God bless you for what you do and for wherever it is that your career takes you. So thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.